The internet is in meltdown. One 90-second clip has turned Atlanta's closest friendship into its most explosive scandal. In the shaky footage, Tiny Harris can be seen yelling, her voice cracking with fury, before chaos erupts. Screams, movement, a blur of hands, and then silence. Moments later, headlines hit every screen. Tiny Harris arrested after attacking Kandi Burruss. But this isn't just a fight between friends, it's the collapse of a sisterhood built on secrets. For years, Tiny and Kandi were inseparable. Music partners, reality TV royalty, family. So what went wrong? What pushed Tiny past the edge? And why does that video look a little too perfectly timed to be random? Some fans call it betrayal. Others insist it's a setup, a calculated move meant to destroy everything Tiny built. One thing's certain, this story isn't what it seems. Behind those viral headlines lies a truth darker than anyone imagined. And it all begins with a secret neither woman wanted the world to see. The internet can turn a whisper into a hurricane, and that's exactly what happened the night Tiny Harris's world exploded. The clip was barely 2 minutes long. A shaky phone video, voices overlapping, a blur of motion, and a scream that cut through the noise. People slowed it down frame by frame, dissecting every pixel like it was evidence in a courtroom. Within an hour, every blog, gossip feed, and trending page carried the same headline: Tiny Harris arrested after attacking Kandi Burruss. No one knew where the clip came from. Some said it was shot by a guest at a private industry party. Others claimed it was leaked from security footage. But everyone agreed on what they saw. Tiny lunging forward, Kandi's voice shouting, bodies rushing to break them apart, and Tiny's face twisted in anger and heartbreak. At first, fans refused to believe it. Tiny and Kandi had been sisters in the spotlight for over a decade, bound by music, loyalty, and history. They'd survived rumors before, but this felt different. This was raw, real, the kind of explosion that comes not from hate, but from love turned sour. The digging began. Old interviews, cryptic posts, behind-the-scenes clips, everything was re-examined. Just a week earlier, Tiny had promised to reveal her receipts in a live stream watched by millions. The internet had been waiting for the big drop, expecting screenshots and secrets that would finally expose the truth behind the infamous T-tape and the betrayal that followed. But before any receipts surfaced, the fight happened, and suddenly nobody was asking about the tape anymore. They were asking if Tiny Harris had finally snapped. Police reports confirmed the altercation took place at a private lounge in downtown Atlanta. The two women had agreed to meet off camera, away from the noise, hoping to settle things quietly, but something went wrong. Witnesses described raised voices, tears, and then an eruption. By the time officers arrived, Kandi had already left. Tiny was in handcuffs, makeup smeared, voice hoarse from shouting. When she was let out, paparazzi were waiting. The flash of cameras caught her eyes, somewhere between rage and regret. By morning, the internet had already picked sides. Hashtags flooded every platform. Team Tiny and Team Kandi locked in digital war. Some defended Tiny, saying she'd been pushed too far. Others painted her as unstable, violent, desperate to stay relevant. Every outlet claimed an inside source, each telling a different version. TMZ called it a friendship gone nuclear. The Shade Room called it karma catching up. Meanwhile, Tiny's camp went silent. No posts, no statements. Kandi, on the other hand, dropped a single story. Protect your peace, even from those you love. No names, no context, but everyone knew who she meant. That one post reignited the fire. Was she the victim, or was she hinting at something darker? By afternoon, the internet had turned into an investigation board. Fans pulled up old clips, an argument on a reality show, a side-eye during an interview, an awkward laugh on stage. Some said Kandi had been jealous for years. Others swore Tiny had been the loyal one. A few even speculated it was all staged. But that theory died fast when the police report leaked. The question no one could answer: why now? What could push a woman as composed as Tiny to break like that? Rumors swirled that she confronted Kandi about a new piece of evidence, something even more damaging than the T-tape. A message, a recording, proof that could end careers. But if that's true, it hasn't surfaced yet. Insiders say the meeting was meant for closure. Tiny had endured months of humiliation, betrayal, and endless gossip. She went there to end the drama, not fuel it. But closure is dangerous when trust is already broken. One eyewitness told a blogger the argument began calmly, almost civil, until Kandi said something that changed everything. No one caught the words, only that Tiny stood up, trembling, and said, "You think this is funny?" Seconds later, Spilled drink, toppled chair, someone yelling for security. The viral clip captured only the aftermath. Private pain turned public spectacle. That's how it happens in this world. One mistake, one heated second, and the internet decides who you are. Tiny Harris, villain, victim, or viral content. Kandi Burruss, betrayed friend or quiet mastermind. And somewhere in the background, the person who leaked that video might be watching it all unfold, exactly as planned. The clip may have lasted just 90 seconds, but the fallout was massive. Tiny's mugshot became a meme within hours. Late-night hosts cracked jokes. Reaction channels dropped breakdowns every hour, chasing clicks and theories. Everyone wanted the inside scoop, but nobody wanted the truth. It was too messy, too human, and lost in the noise was one haunting detail: that quiet moment before the chaos, when Tiny reportedly whispered, "You already did this to me once." Nobody knows what she meant, or what this fight was really about. But listen closely to the viral video, right before it all breaks loose. You can hear Kandi say something that was never meant to be heard. Maybe that's where the real story begins. The morning after the arrest, Atlanta felt heavy. The air buzzed with gossip and flashing lights. Every street corner conversation circled the same question: what really happened that night? Reporters camped outside their homes. Drones hovered over gated driveways. Gossip bloggers streamed live from parked cars. This wasn't just news. It was a reckoning. The internet wasn't just watching anymore. It was feasting. Inside her house, Kandi Burruss hadn't slept a wink. Her phone wouldn't stop buzzing, but she couldn't bear to touch it. Every notification was another headline, another invasion of her privacy. In her mind, she kept replaying that clip. Tiny's trembling voice, her own words twisted online, the sharp sound of glass breaking. None of it was supposed to go this far. She'd agreed to meet Tiny to calm things down, not to start a war. But someone clearly wanted chaos, and now they had it. Her PR team was panicking. "We need to control the narrative," they urged. But Kandi couldn't find the words. How do you explain a decade of friendship destroyed in a single night? How do you convince millions that a private breakdown isn't a publicity stunt? Instead, she just stared at the sunlight cutting through her blinds and whispered, "They wanted this." Across town, Tiny sat in her lawyer's office, silent as her team debated damage control. The word assault kept echoing through the room. She barely heard anything else. Her hands trembled as she scrolled through her phone. Memes, hashtags, people dissecting her every move. She snapped. She's done. She finally showed her true colors. But what hurt most wasn't the strangers. It was Kandi's silence. No calls, no text. Just that cold, cryptic story, "Protect your peace." It felt like a knife. Her lawyer leaned in, calm but firm. "Tiny, if you want to get ahead of this, stay quiet. Let us handle the legal side." Tiny nodded, but her mind was far away, back in that moment, back in that room. She hadn't gone there to fight. She'd gone for answers. But when Kandi smirked and said, "You made your bed, now lie in it," something inside Tiny cracked. Months of humiliation and betrayal collided, and everything went black. The internet didn't care about context. Someone had already edited the footage into a dramatic montage, slow motion, ominous music, captions screaming, "Tiny attacks Kandi. Here's the truth." Millions watched, commented, analyzed. Even people who'd never heard their names before became self-proclaimed experts. Reaction channels popped up overnight. Everyone had an opinion, and every opinion twisted the truth a little more. By midday, a new rumor was on fire, a supposed second video. Bloggers teased it with clickbait titles, claiming it showed what really happened before the fight. Nobody knew if it existed, but that didn't stop people from believing. Some swore they saw a snippet where Kandi said, "You brought this on yourself." Others insisted Tiny said, "You ruined my family." Then came the bombshell, a leaked voice note on Twitter. Muffled, emotional, supposedly recorded minutes after the fight, a woman's voice sounding like Tiny's cracked through tears. "They set me up." It was all planned. She knew cameras were there. Within seconds, it went viral. People slowed it down, ran voice analysis, argued about authenticity, but deep down, everyone wanted it to be real. It made the scandal juicier. Kandi's team denied it immediately, calling it a fake edited audio. But the damage was done. Tiny's fans flooded the comments with hearts and messages. "We got you, Tiny. You don't deserve this." For the first time since the fight, the tide began to turn. That night, Tiny posted a black screen on her Instagram story with a single line. "Not everything is what it looks like." No caption. No explanation. Within minutes, her name was trending again. Fans were convinced she had proof, that someone had set her up. Theories multiplied. Some said the lounge security footage had been hacked. Others claimed the clip was sold to gossip blogs. Meanwhile, Kandi went silent again. Insiders said she was scared. "It's bigger than people think," one source told a blog. "There's someone pulling strings behind the scenes, and it's not either of them." But the internet didn't care about subtlety. It wanted villains and heroes. Every post became a weapon, every tweet a new battleground. Then, just before midnight, a mysterious account popped up on X claiming to have the full truth. It posted cryptic messages hinting at a conspiracy involving a third party, someone tied to T. The account had no followers, no profile photo, but within an hour, it had tens of thousands of retweets. Fans started speculating that T himself might have leaked the footage or even orchestrated the drama to protect his own image. Alleged DMs between him and Kandi began circulating, none verified, but the damage was instant. Tiny saw them and felt her stomach twist. If T had known more than he admitted, if Kandi had been covering for him, it meant everything she believed about their friendship was a lie. She typed a message to Kandi, then deleted it. There was nothing left to say that wouldn't be twisted. Outside, the world kept spinning. News outlets were calling it Atlanta's biggest celebrity meltdown. Influencers were cracking jokes about the punch heard around the world, but for Tiny and Kandi, there was nothing funny left. A friendship that once felt unbreakable had turned into a weapon. Both of them were bleeding in different ways, and that one line from the voice note haunted everyone who heard it. She knew cameras were there. If that's true, then someone didn't just capture a fight, they orchestrated it. And if that clip was meant to go viral, this wasn't the end. It was only the beginning of something much darker. The next morning, things got even messier. The same mystery account posted again, this time with a blurry screenshot of a text conversation. The sender's name was hidden, but the message read, "The cameras were supposed to catch him, not her. Clean it up." Within minutes, every gossip blog and entertainment page had it. Theories spun faster than the facts. Tiny's team saw it first. Her lawyer called immediately, voice sharp. "Stay off your phone. This could impact your case." But Tiny was already scrolling through the chaos, heart pounding. Fans were tagging her non-stop, claiming the text proved she'd been set up. For a moment, she almost felt relief. Maybe now people would finally see that she wasn't crazy or violent, just cornered. Across the city, Kandi sat frozen in her living room, staring at the same post. The words, "catch him, not her," echoed in her head. She knew what it meant, or at least she thought she did. She'd been warned not to meet Tiny alone that night. Her manager had begged her to bring security, said something felt off. But she went anyway, hoping to fix things. Now the world thought she was part of a trap. Her phone rang. It was her mother. "Baby, you need to tell your side," she said softly. "You're letting them write your story." Kandi whispered, "I don't even know what my story is anymore." By then, T was trending, for all the wrong reasons. Every gossip page had the same headline, "Was T the real target?" Old clips resurfaced of him defending his marriage. Reporters twisted his past interviews into scandal fuel. His team finally released a short statement. "These rumors are false. We asked for privacy during this difficult time." But that only made things worse. People didn't want silence. They wanted answers. By afternoon, another clip surfaced, grainy, low quality, but unmistakably real. It showed the moments. After the fight, cameras caught Tiny being escorted out by police, yelling something the microphones barely picked up. "Ask him why he called the cameras," she shouted. And just like that, the internet went wild again. Who was him? Most fans assumed she meant T.I., though others swore she was calling out Kandi's manager. Either way, the focus shifted fast. This wasn't just about two friends falling apart. This was about control, manipulation, and exposure. Tiny's lawyer begged her to stay silent, but she'd had enough. That night, she went live. The second she appeared, her chat exploded. Hundreds of thousands pouring in. She looked drained, eyes red, hair pulled back, voice steady but cracked. "I've been quiet because I was told to," she began. "But I can't sit here while people keep lying." She didn't say Kandi's name. She didn't mention T.I. directly, but her message was clear. She talked about trust, about being warned not to go to that meeting, about someone urging her to make peace right before the cameras showed up. Then she dropped a line that stopped everyone cold. "You ever realize too late that you were just the distraction?" The comments went nuclear. Theory after theory, each wilder than the last. And just as she was about to end the live, a text notification popped up, on screen for less than a second, but thousands caught it. The sender's name? Anonymous. The message? You don't know the whole story. Check your email. Tiny froze, tried to brush it off, then ended the stream abruptly. Within minutes, Anonymous was trending. People were convinced it was the same mystery figure behind that shady X account. Tiny didn't go live again that night, but hours later, vloggers started dropping bombshells. A new batch of files had hit multiple outlets, audio clips, text logs, and what one journalist called the missing piece of the puzzle. Kandi's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. She didn't even need to check it to know. It had begun. "It's starting," she whispered. Her manager looked panicked. "Starting? What's starting?" "The cover-up," Kandi said quietly. "The one they tried to pin on me?" By dawn, unverified screenshots were flooding the internet. The messages hinted that the entire leak, the T-tape, the fight, even the arrest, had been engineered by a third party to bury another scandal altogether. Something tied to a shady business deal gone wrong. The screenshots were messy, names blurred, but the implications were massive. Tiny woke up to chaos. Then, for the first time since the fight, Kandi called. Neither spoke for a long moment. Finally, Kandi broke the silence. "They played us," Tiny just whispered. "I know." Outside, cameras still waited. The world kept talking. But for once, neither woman cared about the headlines. Someone else had pulled every string, and they were both caught in the same web. Somewhere out there, the person behind that anonymous message was still watching, still posting, waiting for the final piece to fall into place. So now you've seen how one video changed everything. But the truth? It's still out there, buried between headlines, hashtags, and those hidden messages no one was supposed to see. Tiny Harris and Kandi Burruss might be at the center of the storm, but what if neither of them was ever really in control? What if every leak, every receipt, every so-called fight was part of something much bigger? The real question now isn't who leaked what, it's who wanted it to happen. Who gains from this chaos? Who's sitting quietly while their lives burn on millions of screens? Because let's be real, scandals like this don't just happen. Someone plans them, someone profits, and that someone, they're still out there waiting for the next move. So tell me, was Tiny truly set up, or did her own anger catch up with her? Is Kandi a victim, or is she hiding something that could flip this whole story again? And where does T.I. fit in all this? Was he a bystander, or the silent mastermind pulling strings behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me who you think is really in control. Smash that like button if you've been following every twist of this saga, and hit subscribe. Because trust me, this drama isn't close to over. The footage? That was just the beginning. The next leak could change everything. And when it does, you'll want to be right here, when the truth finally drops. Stay alert, stay tuned, because in this world, loyalty always comes with a price, and everyone's paying.